Hi Gareth, lovely to meet you and your son and do some work on your game earlier in the week. As promised, just a quick recap on the key points that we covered, and you can see I've listed those in the centre screen on the top. Keys for the lesson were wider stance, hands in and shoulder down. So we take a little look at your swing at the start of the session. Two things that stand out initially, three things that stand out initially. First of all, it's set up really narrow with the stance, so you can see on this top right footage, feet very close together, not giving you a stable platform and a platform in general to create power from. Secondly, as we watch the takeaway, what we see is a player whose hands work very much upwards and back in a straight line. So you can see the hands that are raising up from that red line very quickly. And as we discussed, if I stop you halfway back when the left arm's parallel with the ground, I'm going to describe that position as having the hands in a very outward position, so I'm sort of looking straight down the hands at that point. When a player does that, it's also linked with the lead shoulder, the left shoulder in your case, working to level. As the left shoulder works level, you can see your head being pushed away from that golf ball. So we've got a shoulder that's working a little bit too level and not working down enough. So it should work down and across, more towards where the yellow line is here. So we should work down and across, and that would stabilise the shoulder turn and make it much easier for you to, first of all, create a more powerful swing, because we're turning the shoulders on a tilted angle, and secondly, control where the club hits the ground with each and every swing. Remember what we said, the best source of power for any golfer is centred contact. So what we see here now on the bottom right is a much wider stance. We use the analogy of the goalkeeper in the nets at football, feet roughly shoulder width apart. That's much better. I've got the club to the side of your head just to prevent you moving off the ball and encourage the lead shoulder to work down more. So we're trying to get the lead shoulder to work down, and you can see now that lead shoulder working much more downward. And then just as we get about halfway back, you start to move it in a level manner, and that pushes you off the golf ball a little bit. But a far better move initially. So wider stance, shoulder down, and then as we look here from down the line, the hands tracing a more inward path, tracing that red line for longer, so that when we stop you halfway back, left arm parallel, you can see there's a marked difference in the path of the hands. That shows again that we're swinging in a circle. Solid contact is a source of power, as is swinging in a circle. And again, we use the analogy of kicking a football. If we wanted to kick a football as far as we could, we'd swing the leg on an arc. We wouldn't swing it straight back and through. So we'll get rid of some of those lines for you. And you can see some nice changes in regards to the overall look of your swing. Achieved by widening the stance, working the hands in an inward path, and working the lead shoulder down. Good luck with it, and I look forward to working with you again in a week or so's time. Well done.